Now to Your Voice, Your Vote. All eyes are on Washington as President Donald Trump is set to deliver an address tonight to a joint session of Congress.
He's set to do it amid weeks of reported federal layoffs and new trade tariffs coming into place that have concerned many around the country.
Their 10 Year Science political reporter Josh Albertus joins us now to break down what we could expect. Hi, Josh.
Hey guys, well this is what basically like the State of the Union we hear most years, but the first address the president gives of their new term these days is not usually referred to as a State of the Union, but rather, as you said, simply a joint session of Congress, that address to them. The White House announcing yesterday the theme of this address would be the renewal of the American dream. We can likely expect to hear about what the administration has felt to be cost-saving efforts to cut the federal bureaucracy, though others have vocally opposed those reported cuts as reckless and haphazard. Now, Michigan's junior U.S. Senator Elissa Slotkin will be giving the Democratic response. She'll also reportedly have a former VA employee from Ann Arbor who had said he was laid off, and he will be her guest tonight. Now, this is all still coming as the party has seemingly tried to regain their footing and find a working message after the November election. So we asked the state Democratic Party's chair what he thinks Slotkin should be prepared to deliver tonight.
I think that she understands that we have to have an economic message that speaks to people about the pain that they're feeling on the ground, and a response to the chaos of what has been the first 2 months of the Trump administration. So I think that you're going to see a strong response back that actually tries to defend the American people from what they're seeing right now.
And of course, putting somewhat of a presence over that speech tonight, those tariffs being implemented as of this morning from the Trump administration on imports from Mexico and Canada in particular, that some have predicted may have an especially outsized impact on our state. Now, I'll toss it back to you to tell us more about that, Lauren.
That's right. Just like you said, Josh, President Trump's latest round of tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada went into effect today. The big question is, how will this impact your wallet? I spoke to an economist and he tells me how the tariffs could impact our state economy.
If you don't like spending extra money, you may have to get used to it. The Trump administration's latest round of 25% tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada went into effect Monday night. For the Mitten State,
the biggest problem for Michigan is that we have so much business going back and forth over the Ambassador Bridge every day.
Brian Long with Grand Valley State University says he's worried how the tariffs will impact the automotive industry, in particular goods used to make cars from both our country and Canada.
If these things have to be taxed, if they are held up, it's going to limit production, both for Canada and for us. The tariff that has been proposed and that is apparently being implemented will be devastating as far as those particular lines of cars are concerned.
But it doesn't stop there. USA Today reports the tariffs on Canada and Mexico will increase the price on things like alcoholic beverages, cereal, flour, starch, and milk products, produce like tomatoes and onions, and even gas for your car.
If the tariffs stay in play for the next couple of weeks, motorists in West Michigan would probably start to notice a very low level 5 to 15 cent a gallon impact starting in mid to late March that could last through early April, or as long as the tariffs are in place.
The good news is that Long says he doesn't believe the tariffs will impact the housing market. But with so much uncertainty, Long says people should prepare for anything to happen and make the best financial decisions they can.
The UAW did release a statement in response to the tariff. The statement reads in part, quote, "For 40 years, we've seen the devastating effects of so-called free trade on the working class." The statement goes on to say, quote, "Tariffs are a powerful tool in the toolbox for undoing the injustice of anti-worker trade deals." The statement ends by saying, quote, "We look forward to working with the White House to shape the auto tariffs in April to benefit the working class."
We will stream both the president's address tonight as well as Senator Slotkin and her fellow Democrats' response on 13+. President Trump's address will begin at 9 p.m. and the Democrats' response will follow immediately after. Watch both live on 13+. Download on your TV and watch for free.